talking about.
Me either. We were going to make it a big announcement.
Oh, that's right. We're
This
well
is the Mobile
for people
announcement.
who forgot that we're the designers for Mobile Beat Las Vegas.
That's
and
right.
we're going to be hosting Mobile Beat Las Vegas.
Right.
And being the designers before is what we're doing right now while we're working on the hosting scripts and things like that. But right now we are working with the producers to be sure that they create what we would like to see in a really big, really well-produced show. And
something that's a game changer. Something that is like, wow, that's new and exciting and fresh.
So, and today we were supposed to announce our final speaker. We got one big speaker. We were gonna announce who that person is.
That's right. But we'll do that in a little bit. Have you heard that Ghostbusters is coming back?
No, it's not.
Yes, there was an
I've
article.
been hearing Ghostbusters stories, Ghostbuster 3 stories for probably 15 years. And every time they get close, Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd or Harold Ramis, who, rest in peace, is no longer with us, has said, no way, you're nuts.
Well, Paul Feig, who did Bridesmaids, The Heat, these all...
The director, Paul Feig.
Women movies, yes.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
He loves the
not
ladies.
Your friend down the street, but big Melissa McCarthy fan because she's flippin' hilarious kind of thing. So he wants to do Ghostbusters with an all-female cast.
What?
Yeah, well, considering that
with Bill
Ramos is gone and Bill won't do it and Ivan Reitman won't direct it.
Dan Aykroyd,
I don't know. What does it say about Dan?
Well, I don't think
Dan I don't think was available for comment.
Well, I don't know about this.
What do you think? An all-female cast of Ghostbusters?
Well, I think it would be a fun movie. Yeah, I don't have a problem with females being in the cast. I have a problem with the fact that, we fell in love with the original characters.
Yeah.
It's Peter Venkman we want to see. It's Bill Murray. It's Dan Aykroyd. It's, Harold Ramis, Egon, we want to see him. And Ivan Reitman, I mean, he had the vision for the whole thing as the director.
Right.
It's always been very cool.
But you can do anything with a story. That's what soap operas have taught us. And so what we could do, no matter how preposterous it is, all the guys fell into their containment machine, and when they got out, they were women.
Oh my! Please tell me that's not what they're going to do.
Oh, it's my suggestion.
Well, we should send it in.
So
it's a little fan fiction.
Despite all of those problems, nobody really wanting to participate on it, who originally was with it.
I think what they need,
the studio will actually go for it.
I think the studio will go for it. But what they need to make it really the big hit is to have like DJ. Dan Aykroyd step up and say, or Bill Murray step up and say, you have our blessing.
I'm going to DJ for it.
They're going to DJ for it because that's what Dan Aykroyd's been doing now. He's been making vodka in crystal skulls and DJing.
That's right.
In all of his House of Blues properties everywhere.
All that's missing. That's all that's missing. This is the Bill and Jason Show. I'm Jason Jones.
I'm Bill Hermann.
That's Bill Hermann. And today, thanks for joining us. We are here for another week, and we're so excited. We've been chewing our fingers off to be able to make this announcement for a long, long time. So before we just go ahead and just do this thing, let's talk a little bit about who's this guy?
What are you talking about?
The announcement we're going to make about this special guest.
Oh, about who
Everybody
it is?
has been guessing all week.
Okay.
As to who is the big
I'm
person
going to give you some clues. You know who this is, but I'm going to give some clues before we say. First of all, some facts about this guy that everybody should know. First of all,
I like getting the answer right.
He owns an oversized sports utility vehicle that's painted bright pink.
So he used to sell Mary Kay.
Well, no, he's nicknamed his vehicle Pink Death.
Oh, Pink Death.
Okay. I think he also owns
the antithesis of Mary Kay.
Right. I think he also owns he owns a Mini Cooper that's also pink. So he has
really likes
one
pink.
side or the other. Okay. Let's see here.
Or just likes to be different.
He plays an upright bass, so we know he's a bit of a musician.
Okay.
Okay.
Musical guy.
Right. He named his daughter Moxie, first name, middle name Crime Fighter.
Wow. Did his wife have a say in this?
Probably. I mean, I don't think you can no matter how cool you are, I don't think you can keep your wife from putting her words into it.
So which of those two were her pick?
Probably Crime Fighter.
I know who this is, but now I want to guess someone else.
He wrote a fiction book called Sock, and it was published in July of 2004.
Sock? Was it good? Did you read it?
S-O-C-K. Great book. He has a son named Zoltan.
Zoltan.
Who's
going to star in the remake of Dune.
Zoltan wasn't in Dune, was he?
Well, he will be. He will be the new guy that takes over the planet of spice. And the Spice Girls will be like standing behind him to defend the spice.
And he was once a performer at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival.
Oh wow, way back. He's like a local Minnesotan.
He has that accent still too. No, he doesn't. Then one of the reasons I think that you and I were connected to him, or I was probably more connected than you, because I'm close to a lot of the performers at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and one of the Renaissance Festival performers that I know is Car Hagerman. Car Hagerman, who is many people may know or may not know. If you go to carhagerman.com, I believe that's 2 N's on the end. I think he started as an actor at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and since then has become quite a Renaissance man, especially in performance.
Car Hagerman.
Yeah, Car is. And he and this person we're talking about worked together. But a little bit about Carr. I mean, he not only he was a Renaissance Festival performer, but from there he took it to author. He took it to speaker. He took it to artist.
He was one of the main speakers for the fish program.
Right, when the fish philosophy.
Fish philosophy,
yeah. That was written around those guys at Parks Market in Seattle, where they throw the fish around at Parks Market.
Where it's like, look, this is the crappiest job in the world, and look how happy they are.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they showed us that at the phone bank. Like, you could be this happy.
And Carr traveled all over the world with that. That was just that. But, I mean, he owned a DJ company here in the Twin Cities called Streetwise Productions. He worked for Rent-A-Center when the karaoke business was really big, and karaoke laser discs.
Right.
RAC Entertainment. He was running the Twin Cities version of that, and I worked with him during that. Let's see, he's an actor, he's a voiceover talent, he's a radio announcer, and most recently he's taken on photography over the last 2 years and has become a really well thought of and highly sought after photographer after only working at it for 2 years.
He really is. It's not ironic that he's in the Renaissance Festival. He's really invented himself to be quite the Renaissance man.
Right, exactly. And
happens to be really good friends with the person who we're announcing
today,
who will be at Mobile Beat Las Vegas 2015 in February with bells on.
So tune in next week, and we'll tell you all about it.
Who that might be if you can't guess it, because you've been guessing.
If you haven't guessed it already, it's Penn Jillette. Yeah, Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller. Penn and Teller doing a magic show in Las Vegas at the Rio, and they have television shows and media all over the place. And Penn, because he's got a connection with the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and me with Car Hagerman, we were able to convince the producers of Mobile Beat Las Vegas to spend way more money than they were going to spend. They are still actually very upset with us. When you do see them in Las Vegas, give either one of them a big hug and say that you're sorry that Bill and Jason emptied their wallets to be able to make sure that Penn Jillette could come and speak at Mobile Beat Las Vegas on the entertainment business and how relevant it is to what we do every day.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really awesome. It really speaks to living in a world where anything is possible.
Yeah.
Like, not going like, oh, well, that could never happen, or we can never do that. I mean, you can prove that can never happen pretty easily. We do it all the time, right? But not very often do we actually try to prove, yeah, we can make that happen. Let's just do it.
That's exactly what happened.
I remember like early on in the creation process where we were creating, and we were talking with Mike Bonacorso, and we were talking about
Mobile Beat
Las Vegas, and the speakers and the lineup and things like that, and we started banding around like, if we're going to do something completely different, we're in Las Vegas. There are so many performers there. There's so many people there that could come and just speak about entertainment, because I mean that's what we do.
Right.
Sure, it's the context of weddings and schools, but we're creating entertainment.
Absolutely,
and it's going beyond just hitting play or mixing music. We know to have real value, you've got to go beyond and express beyond that.
And one of the things that people forget working as a disc jockey at all is that they are part of that larger industry.
Yes,
we
absolutely.
are part of the entertainment business. We're not just a guy from our, living at our house, taking out our stereo, playing music. Once you've decided to do this in front of an audience, you are now part of the entertainment business.
That's right.
And if you see yourself as part of the entertainment business, then no longer are you kind of stuck in that little box of how far you can go or how big you can be.
Exactly.
If in fact you want to be. Now, if you don't take yourself into bigger places, that's okay. But most of the guys that I've talked to that don't take themselves beyond, small events for small amounts of money see themselves as the DJ is not a part of the larger industry. And it is a huge part of the larger industry. And when you see yourself that way, and when you, like you said, really look at what's really possible in a large universe as opposed to the small box, you can make something as exciting and huge as having a guy who's worth over $147 million come and speak at a DJ conference in Las Vegas.
Right. Well, and even that, I mean, just look at the example of Penn Jillette and Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like we've known a lot of people who are magicians in our time. And
right.
And the conversations that we had like, oh, magicians, oh, they're doing this, that, what could they do that's new? What,
right.
They're everywhere. They're universal.
They've been around for
why should we
years.
Put another magician on to do parlor tricks on a TV show? Or why should we do this or that, right? And Penn and Teller said, yeah, we're doing magic, but they're doing it in the Penn and Teller way.
Right.
They're doing it the way they're doing it. Just like that's the opportunity as a wedding entertainer, or if you're schools or wherever your focus is, like what is it that's your way? What is it that you are bringing to it that makes you stand out, where you become the star, where you become sought after, where they're like, yeah, we're going to throw millions of dollars at you because this is amazing what you've created, what you've put on it. Is there magic dramatically crazy different from everyone else's? Well, not if you really...
Well, not if you look at the actual tricks, because, I mean, Penn, I remember seeing him do a thing. I
don't want to take away the accomplishment. They really accomplished it.
Don't get me wrong. What here, the old cups and balls trick, right? I mean, 3 cups and a ball, and when you're all done, you've got huge balls and tons of them all over. You've seen it millions of times. Millions. That's a great video. Don't bring that up ever. Anyway, you. Stop it. You did that to me. I can't believe you did that to me.
I'm sorry.
No. Anyway, the cups and balls trick has been around for years and years and years. Every magician has done it.
Yes.
I wanted to be a magician at one point. I know that trick. I can do that trick, okay?
You made your balls
But
disappear?
he has... Well, I got married. Thank you. Good night, everybody. So, no, it's an old trick that everybody knows. It's one of the first magic tricks you learn when you get a magic kit. They still do that trick on their main stage magic show and do it in such a way that it is amazing. It blows your mind, and it's still just cups and balls.
Yeah.
It's still just the cups and balls trick. This is what we as entertainers do, whether you're a magician, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a singer, regardless of what it is. If you want to stand out, which is hopefully what we want to do, is we stand out as us. They're hiring Bill to do your wedding. You're hiring Jason to do your wedding. Mm-hmm. We still do bouquet tosses. We still do garter tosses. We still introduce people for the first dance. We still bring equipment and play music. But I do a much different show than Jason Jones. And you do a much different show than any of us. It's that thing that makes you unique within the whole world of entertainment. And that is what is being brought to our awesome conference here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Well, and that's the biggest inspiration behind the effort and energy we've put into crafting the entertainment experience workshop. It's like, okay, here's the tools. We've broken it down to what tools do we use to create.
Right.
Now you get the tools. Now you can express yourself as what your interests are, what your talent is, what makes you Penn Jillette, what makes you amazing, and just use the tools, and then you will be... everybody is totally different that comes out of it. That's one of the things I love about it. It's like if everybody in your market did the workshop, good, because then everybody's going to be doing their own thing.
Right.
And there's going to be, this high end of like all these different entertainers that are going across this doing different things, standing out, innovating, doing things that the clients want. Like, ooh, I want to experience that. I want to have that.
It's really lucky, too, that not only do we have Penn being a part of this, but we also have Carr being a part of this. Carr's going to be creating a presentation. Carr's going to be presenting a little bit with Penn to help explain he's going to bring together these two worlds, these worlds that so many people don't bring together. As we're talking in there, we're all a part of the large entertainment industry, but Carr also owning a DJ company and being a DJ. He DJ'd my wedding. He was my DJ. Everybody asked me to know, who did your wedding? It was Car Hagerman, and he's going to speak at this conference, and he's going to help between Jason and I and Penn. We're all going to make everything as relevant as necessary to make sure this thing is really great. So I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and we'll tell you more about
we have
Car
else.
after if we take a break.
You're listening to the Bill and Jason Show.
So Car is the it's kind of like the unexpected bonus, but it's so funny. I just want to get back to the story of of how this whole evolution just kind of popped up out of nothing,
right?
Out of nowhere. And we were having this conversation with Mike, and Mike's like, "Well, who would that be? I'm open to suggestions. Who would that be that you think would have appeal?" And I was just thinking, and I thought, well, you know what? Someone who's really outspoken, really opinionated, but has really laser-like observations, even if he's making observations about our industry,
right,
from the entertainment industry point of view, would be like Penn Jillette. I was like,
right.
And he'd be really entertaining, really compelling, and really, really relevant. I mean, if anybody that would just come from another facet of entertainment, he could zero in like nobody else.
And he lives and works in Las Vegas, so
I shot
why
an
wouldn't
email,
we reach out to him?
I shot an email to Mike, and I said, "Hey, what do you think of him?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, he's really expensive." And then, speaking of expensive, you and I went out and had some expensive scotch because they went out special to buy a bottle for us, so we felt obligated. So we drank 3 glasses each, and we're like, "Oh my God, is that how much it is?" But I said, I suggested I sent this to Mike Bonacorso, and I thought, who'd be cool? Penn Jillette.
Right.
And you said,
I said, I think I have a connection with Penn Jillette.
Like, no way.
Yeah. So I called my friend Car, and we had lunch. And talking to Car about the conference, and he and I have spitball ideas all the time about what would be cool when it comes to what I do for a living, what he does for a living, because he and I think a lot alike. We came from a kind of a same kind of a background in the world of theater, and so we're having our regular lunch. And I said, "Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you're still really how well connected you are with Penn. I know you talk to him all the time, and you work together at the Renaissance Festival." I said, "But would there be a way for you to reach out to Penn and find out if maybe he'd want to maybe come over across town and speak to us?" And even Carr went, this guy's worth a lot. I mean, he doesn't negotiate fees. He doesn't need the money.
Right.
He's got 14 things in development. He's got a couple of TV shows, a book, and a movie he's working on. He doesn't need the time. He doesn't need to be able to do this. I said, yeah, but I mean, is it worth a phone call? He goes, something? Yeah, I'll make a phone call. I'll call him. I'll ask him what he thinks, see if it's something he wants to do. He says, plus, I've kind of wanted to do something with him for a while. So maybe it would be a chance for us to work together. And I went, oh, well, there you go. Let me know. And as I left, I'm like, this is never going to happen. And even Carr driving home went, this is never going to happen. But he's a man of integrity, and he said he'd do it. So he did. He called Penn up, and about 20 minutes later, he called me up and he said, this might happen because he's actually really interested to do something. And he said, especially to do something with me because we've been friends for a long time. And I said, okay, let's go down the rabbit hole and see how far we can go. And honestly, it was mostly us keeping the producers of Mobile Beat from hyperventilating for about 3 weeks before we could actually make an offer.
Like, okay, now you got to come up some money.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Go start digging.
Right, exactly. So
2 months of nail biting later.
Well, and the coolest thing about it is for us when it comes to designing the show, they brought us in. We spoke to the power of the whole thing. We didn't hold back on anything, and then expecting and hoping that the producers were actually going to stand by the idea of
reinventing,
reinventing it, really doing what they're saying they're going to do.
Yep.
And when push came to shove, they stepped up to the plate. I mean, they really. I mean, there's no way that anyone's going to get an idea of the kind of financial investment that went into this, except to say, like, holy moly.
Yeah.
But financially, they stepped up to the plate not only for the conference, but for the disc jockeys that we are celebrating with this conference. And that's why they did it. That's exactly why they did it.
Well, and Ryan and Mike really deserve some acknowledgement and accolades for just doing, because I mean, it's like they're in a position just like we've been in a position before, or our brides are sometimes when they're like, I want to do something totally different. And you're like, how about this? And they're like, oh my God, that's so different. You're freaking me out. Right. What if we go back to this? It's like, well, that's totally normal. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? Or there's a space that you're comfortable in, you know? And it's like you want to jump out and just be really creative and just like, throw everything out and start over. And they're like, okay, like, okay, let's do it. Like let's just do it. Come on, let's make it happen.
And I want to really,
that is how it's been. It's how it's been going.
And I really want to make it clear that as much as you and I pushed, I think the biggest why behind why they took the step towards this that they did was that their real true commitment to being able to create something unique and different and game-changing for the industry that helped. I mean, Mobile Beat magazine is coming up on 25 years, is it right? Or 20 or 25 years.
Yeah.
And they stepped into an industry that adopted the magazine as one of the things that helped move the industry forward. And they asked them to do that, and they did. And they did that in every year that they put together a conference, every magazine they put out. And when they changed the industry, when they brought what the kind of speakers they brought in. When Mark Farrell took the stage in Mobile Beat in 1998, I believe, that was a huge game changer.
That was a huge game changer,
and around that, there were other ones, and many of the things that has happened within the industry, and many of the big changes and the celebrities, DJ celebrities in the mobile DJ industry, and many of the big changes came out of the commitment that Mobile Beat has always had. So this is another example of that commitment to this industry.
Well, and the thing that is awesome about not just Mobile Beat, but just all conferences that bring this community together is that we all get together to have a say in how the industry is going to go and how it's going to look. Sure.
And even how our conferences go.
We can vent out like how, what frustrates us about like, people that shop price and all that kind of stuff, and that's all good and constructive. And then we get to like, oh, what's an idea or what's something that they really want that I can put a premium on.
Right.
For a lot of guys, it's like lighting design is like a real big want that they've discovered that they've been able to harness and use and capitalize on. And so much of that comes out of getting together and having that collective conversation with only people that are going to get you, your business, get what you're all about. So
one of the reasons we go back on a regular basis. One of the reason I go back to Mobile Beat every year, the reason I go to conferences all the time. In fact, you and I are going to be in Las Vegas here in September very soon as well. So we want to see you while we're there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So say hi. Yay. And then we can all like go squeal and go, yay! Guess what?
I'm going to be celebrating my birthday while I'm there, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah. So that means I'm sober guy the whole week.
I pretty much. I'm going to be. I'm going to be 30.
Right. And I'm going to keep you out of trouble because I'm your best friend.
Yeah, you're going to have to because.
Or let you just get in just enough trouble and then pull you back. Kind of like walk that fine line.
Yeah, get just enough trouble to get a couple photographs and then pull you away.
So if you're going to jump off the stratosphere, I'll make sure there's a bungee on you or something like that.
Yeah, this is going to be great. I've never been to Vegas. Last time I was in Vegas on my birthday with my wife. And it was like a weird off time.
Do you remember that at all?
No, we had a nice time. It was just her and I, but I've never really been out there during my birthday with all of my friends. I mean, 90% of the people that listen to this show are friends of mine. And I'm going to be out there with them at like a really big party. I haven't had a really big party in a long time. And Vegas is nothing if not a really big party. So I'm very excited about it.
So get busy throwing that big party for Bill and make it a surprise.
Yeah, gifts are really not optional.
So you must bring a gift. He likes things that float and hot tubs. So I think that's a good place to end the show.
That really is. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, do that. If you haven't gone to Twitter and followed us, do that.
Yes, indeed. And stay in touch with us. Leave your comments on either the Mobile Beat page or the Bill and Jason Show page.
We want to know what you think.
We want to know what you think.
Broadcasting from high atop planet Earth at a rate of 96 kilobytes sampled per second over the interweb in an effort to stop glorifying being busy. This has been an entertainment experience production.